Hello, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of the program Sport Pizza. Of course, it's the biggest, the boldest, and where you get the absolute best in the ever exciting world of sport. My name is Bronson Uwana. Lots of things went down last weekend in terms of football, and of course, the UEFA Champions League, Europa League has been absolutely buzzing, and of course, we'll be seeing lots of games as well. But let's take you back to what happened last weekend. The game most people looked up to, and in my opinion, I think it lived up to the billing. Tottenham Hotspur putting up a superlative performance, and it was a 2-0 bashing of Manchester City. Now, when Jose Mourinho was signed, was given a contract to take the mantle from Mauricio Pochettino, there were a lot of criticism over his style of play. Now, some people even said they brought the devil himself to Tottenham Hotspur. But has he been able to win over the fans of Tottenham Hotspur? So we're talking about that and much more after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back. Now, Olakule Philip got knocked in the last game, so he won't be playing today. He won't be part of the show today. But ROHR Michael is making his debut on the show. Good to have you, ROHR Michael.
It's wonderful to be here again to talk sports, and it was a wonderful weekend after the international break, and we saw a lot of good football in the weekend, especially during the Premier League. And I was really happy for a person, a fan of Mourinho, who loves Mourinho's style and his tactics. I was happy after a lot of backlash on him from Guardiola fans and the Barca fans in quote, and I loved what he really did, and it was really good. Negative football is safe, but he proved to them that negative football also actually comes positive when it comes to results. So I was really happy, and he has proved his critics. He has proved them wrong, and Tottenham currently they're number one on the English Premier League table, and they deserve to be there.
Definitely, Tottenham deserve to be where they are right now, but has Jose Mourinho finally won over the hearts of the fans? Just like I said in the intro, when he was signed, there were lots of criticism. Some faction of Tottenham fans were not happy with that. They felt like sacking a coach like Pochettino, whom in quotes plays fine football, and then bringing in a coach again in quotes who plays negative football, doesn't entertain. But of course, he's got that winning instinct. But there were lots of doubt, especially the way he was sacked from Manchester United and all of that. So would you say so far he's been able to show the fans a glimpse of what he can bring to this club?
Yeah, I think Mourinho is a coach that has always proved himself. Coming from Porto, where he started his career, building up to the likes of Chelsea. From Chelsea, he moved to Inter Milan, where I felt that was the best achievement. I think we both agree on that. And then when he went to Real Madrid too, I think I'm beginning to see a kind of restructuring of the 2012 Real Madrid team in this Tottenham team, because he has those kind of players, the kind of players like Ronaldo with the pace, and he has players who can also throw the ball here and there using the wings and the counter attack. So swift and good. We have Gareth Bale, who is actually back, but not fully back. And trust me, Mourinho is going to make the best out of Gareth Bale. Look at the stats have shown it already. We have top five squad. You have 2 Tottenham strikers there, and you tell me you're playing negative football. Tell me what's negative about that? Harry Kane is 5th on the top goal scorer chart. Min Son is topping the top goal scorer chart.
And
he also has the highest assists.
9
for crying out.
For a striker.
And Tim Sherwood was talking about Harry Kane being comfortable playing negative football. My brother, I'm going to be comfortable playing negative football if he's giving the stats I want.
Now, you see, Mourinho's style of football is something I so much cherish.
Definitely.
I don't want to care about how he plays, because as far as I'm concerned, football is about scoring goals and winning games. Whether you play fine football or not, as far as you're getting the goals, I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think due to the fact that Guardiola has been introduced into the world football, and everybody loved the way Barca played under Guardiola. The tiki-taka has been something that everybody loves, and everybody normally when you watch football, you also want to see beautiful play. But at the same time too, how do you define football? You don't only define football based on the passes, but you also define football how the passes get effective. Now you're looking at a team that passes the ball here and there from beginning to the end and don't have an effective finishing on the ball. Now I've studied the Man City game, and I noticed that they're missing the final touch. The final touch is really poor, and they've not really been effective with goal scoring. That is a big problem. Now we have someone like Aguero, who is actually coming from injury, and they really need someone like that. So I think Man City has to go back to the drawing board and see that, okay, touching the ball is not the only thing they can do, but also trying to get effective. So I don't think you need to touch the ball severally before you can get the goal. So I think Mourinho has shown that severally. I don't know. Please, when you call negative football, please try to define how football is negative.
I mean,
because as far as I'm concerned, if you're getting the result, my brother, it isn't negative. He has shown it severally. So I think I still go with Mourinho, and I believe he's going to give Liverpool, the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, a run for the money this season.
Really? I think Olakule Phillips needs to hear this one.
Definitely.
I mean, Kule has always been a strong critic of Jose Mourinho. Now, let's move on. Now, can this be Jose Mourinho or Tottenham's season? Do you think Tottenham can win the league this season?
Yeah, the chances are there. I think they've started proving it to us that they are ready to, intention has to be there. Intention, you have to see intention, and that's when you start well in the season. I've always been an advocate for starting well in the season. When you want to start well, you see the likes of Tottenham, Leicester. Leicester was able to end up in the fifth position last season because they started the season well, and we saw the way they went. But due to the fact that after the coronavirus break, when we started the second season or the second half of the season, and they were a little bit slowly pacing towards the end of the season, which affected them. But at the same time, they were still able to end up in the fifth position because of the way they started with. And you see, Jose Mourinho has shown that they've lost only one match, and that was to Everton, just considered one goal. They've also drawn only one, and they've won the rest of their matches. And if you look at their away record, they have the best away record. They've gathered 12 points. Away from home. They have the best. And when it comes to home, they are third. They have the third best record when it comes to winning and getting points from home. So I think that is a forging ahead pattern in which we need from teams, to win, showing their intention of winning, of going towards winning the Premier League. And we can't say that for my team like Manchester United. we are currently 10th in the league, and they are really not doing well. We just won our first match at home this season.
And also to remind you guys that people have world-class coach.
If you say so.
Now, I must say that Tottenham Hotspur's next 5 games will be very difficult. Don't forget that they just finished playing Manchester City. Of course, it went their way. Their next game will be an away game away from home to Chelsea at the Bridge. Even though it's a terrain that Jose Mourinho is very familiar with, I can't say same of his players. That's talking about Tottenham players. His next game after the Chelsea game will be against Arsenal at home. And of course, after Arsenal on the 12th of December, is going to take on Crystal Palace. After Crystal Palace will be a game at Anfield, and that will be against Liverpool. I don't know how this fixtures was done. And then after that will be Leicester City on the 19th of December. What a game for Tottenham Hotspur. It's going to be crunchy, but if they must win the title, I think it's better they play all these big games and they pick up all those other points. Now, still sticking in England, big deal for Leeds United. Now, all their efforts to make Leeds a global brand has finally seen the light of day with the collaboration with Rock Nation. Of course, we know that Rock Nation is owned by Jay-Z. Now, never before have Jay-Z Leeds United been mentioned in the same breath. But, that's history now, because the Premier League newcomers have marked their long-awaited return to the top flight with the signing of new partnership deal with Rock Nation. Michael, what does this portend, or what does this hold for Leeds United?
Yeah, I think it's a very good deal for Leeds United currently, because Rock Nation is actually a big brand. Definitely, it's a world music brand. There's no way music does not go into. Music goes far and wide, and it's a good agency which will help Leeds United put their face out there in the world. Leeds United has been in the Premier League for a while, and then they've been silent for a while also. So they're back into the Premier League, and a lot of people, they've lost a lot of fans due to that, and they've also lost a lot of face and deals. So now, and this deal is going to help them to put their face out there and say, okay, Leeds United is here, we are here again. It's like a popularity kind of deal to put their face out there. I think it's good for them. It will help to bring in players, it will help to bring in deals, it will help to bring in sponsorship, it will help to bring in a lot of things, and it will help to also grow their financial, stability.
As far as football is concerned, that's very important. So, and most people want to say, Jay-Z seems to be interested in a lot of things. Don't forget that sometime last year he came out to say that he wants to have a player agency, part of his Rock Nation. So just like we have the Raola of this world, now Rock Nation will be buying, will be negotiating on players' behalf. But that seems to be a lot for him. But and for me, I have questions if Rock Nation can really hold up to the deal they've signed with Leeds? Because we know them to be an entertainment.
Yeah.
That entertainment we mean like music, movies, and all of that. But coming to sports, I have my reservation about that.
Yeah, Jay-Z is a businessman. You know, definitely he would have looked into things like that and would have done his own work, definitely, because we know that the music business is actually different from sport business on his own. So I know he would have done his own work, and it's not just now. You know, inputting it out right now currently. That means he has done his own work and he has worked towards it. So I think he has put in place people that will be able to run that kind of show for them. And the sport business also, agency with the sport business will also come a long way, because it's going to help Rock Nation. At the same time, it's also going to be an advantage for Leeds United. So the agency, I think he signed a deal with Marcus Rashford.
Yes.
Marcus Rashford. So I think he's trying to build that name for Rock Nation, and he also trying to build that synergy. He's trying to also invest. You know, Jay-Z is a businessman. He just wants to extend his tentacles.
His empire.
His empire, and definitely it's working for him already.
Let's see how well that goes. Eyes would be on him. Now let's move away from England now to Spain. Now Barcelona was continue, not a very good one. Last weekend they lost to Atletico Madrid, and even though it's a game that I wished that Luis Suarez played, but no thanks to COVID-19, he was tested positive in a couple of times, so he was out of that game. But they went on to win that game. Now Gerard Piqué is out for up to 5 months.
Yes.
The defense is already shaking. Piqué is out. What does that hold for Barca?
Yeah, I think Barcelona has been they've been dependent on players like Gerard Piqué for long, and I think it's high time they have to move on and try to shake up the squad a little and try to infuse. And I love the fact that they've been infusing young players. There's this 17-year-old player guy that played for them during the weekend. Yeah, no, Ansu Fati.
Oh, okay.
I forgot his name. I'll try to remember his name. Ricky Boch.
Yeah.
And the guy was really good. He was really good in the match. So I think infusing them. But now Lenglet has been partnering Piqué for a while. I think they need to bring in someone who will place Piqué in that place. Piqué, definitely, we cannot overemphasize the experience of Piqué in that defense. You know, definitely they will still need that experience for him to usher those young boys into that game. So they still need motivation and they still mentoring due to Piqué. But this knee ligament issue is going to really take a very long while. I was reading some reports, and it said it's about 4 to 6 months the ligament, because the ligament is actually a very, 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 very vital part of the leg. And you know, him going out now is going to be a loss for them, because defensive, you know, Barcelona has not really been known for their defensive approach, for their good defense and strong defense. So now, I think when you look into that match, against Atletico came with a game plan, and the game plan really worked for them. You know, more defensive, and try to counter-attack and break them counter-attack, and it worked. And you know, when you have a good goalkeeper like Jan Oblak, no, definitely you boost yourself in confidence. The defense was there, and it was really good, and I think their game plan really worked for them. You saw the likes of Joao Felix, and you saw the likes of the guy who scored the goal.
The guy did well, but
Carrasco.
Yeah.
You know, and the goal came from a mistake, because Ter Stegen was trying to calculate. Okay, should I come out? Should I go for it? You know,
mistake. There's no mistake.
Definitely there's no mistake. But what I'm trying to say is that there was a technical mistake from the defense, which led to that goal.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It needs to be covered up.
We really hope that it comes back strong, but I don't know how Barca will cope with Messi. Really, we saw the level of which he played. Is he going to leave in January? Time will tell. Let's take a very quick break, and when we come back, more to come. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, the Super Eagles of Nigeria's coach, General ROHR's contract has sparked lots of controversy after the recent poor performance. Now, in the history of Nigerian football, I think since 1970, Super Eagles of Nigeria has not gone a whole calendar year without winning a game. But that happened in 2020. Not even a friendly game, not even a competitive game with Seria alone was Super Eagles able to win. And it has sparked lots of questions if General ROHR deserves to have his job as a Super Eagles coach. Michael, what do you think?
I think retaining General ROHR currently as a Nigerian Super Eagles coach is out of sentiment, because if you look at the fact that this guy will speak them without even the hearing or the consent of the technical team. I was listening to Godwin Henahena some days ago. Godwin Henahena said they came up with a technical team. They inaugurated a technical team, not even officially. They just sent letters. And you know, he said since they've been inaugurated, they never knew about the signing of ROHR. When ROHR was even given the job as a coach, they were not informed. They were in Spain or so when they just got a call. They heard that ROHR has been. So I think this LFF, the administration of LFF is just a one-man race. And we're talking about Amaju PINICK. Amaju PINICK, sentimentally, Amaju PINICK has been running the show over there. And I think there's a reason why Amaju PINICK is still retaining ROHR. You know, there's been a spark throughout the media over last week or last 2 weeks when the Minister of Sports came out saying, why are we still retaining ROHR and things that have to be done? You know, and people are saying, come on, he does not have to involve himself in sports. Come on, he's the Minister of Sports, for crying out loud. He has to give his own view about how sport is being run in the country. And football is under sport for crying out loud. And the NFFC collects money from this ministry. So he should definitely have a say. He might not directly have a say in how ROHR can still stay or can still leave.
But PINICK has come out to say that ROHR would not be sacked.
That's why I still say the sentimentality, because what has ROHR done for us? Definitely, yeah. True. When ROHR came, there were a lot of increase in the ranking. We went from 40 something to 19th, you know, in the world. At a point in time, we were third in Africa. Yes, but at the same time, too, after that, you find out that there are some set of players that ROHR have been leaning on during those periods, and you find out that since those guys have not been here, there has been a downpour. There's been a downplay in
the rebuilding process have taken longer than it's.
As for me, I don't see a rebuilding process, because all I see is just gathering players and testing. It's just a test and run. It's just a test and run. Now the Super Eagles has become a test and run platform, a test and run ground, where you see a player today, or they say this guy's an AFCAS, as an Oyinbo, you bring him here. When you see another one, you say you don't even have a game plan. We don't even have a pattern. You know, the Super Eagles cannot spring in passes, just 4 continuous passes together. You know, there's no synergy in the team. You know, we've been dwelling on individuality for a long while, and now it's beginning to show on us now. And we have the likes of Ndidi, who is on injury, now we have seen the effect of Ndidi in our midfield. How can you come with just 3 midfielders and you're trying to tell us that you have a game plan? You know, it's wrong, and it's abysmal. I see, what is the technical input of the technical team in this coaching crew? What is technical input? And Gordon has also cried. He said, you chose a technical team. You inaugurated a technical team who will look into the technical output of the Super Eagles, and they've never had a meeting.
NFF feels otherwise.
It's a one-man game. It's a one-man ruling. That's why I said the problem still stands with the NFF administration. So what we have to do now is we have to restructure the NFF administration, look inwards and try to check the technicality of the team.
Well, time will tell, because as it stands now, with PINICK saying that I think the PINICK and the sport minister may have loggerhead over the coach. But then what would you say? Because even PINICK's salary is not paid by the Ministry of Sport. Yeah. It's paid by the private sector. So all these things will come to play as far as the contract of PINICK is concerned.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of people are saying we should come back to the local coach. If the local coach lose 1-2 games, we'll start calling for a foreign coach. And the mentality is there. We trust foreign coach. So that's how it will continue. All right. Let's see how well that goes anyway. Now let's go away from football and go to tennis. It was a big weekend for Daniel Medvedev as he fought back to beat US Open champion Dominic Thiem and win the biggest title of his career at the ATP Finals in London. Now, the Russian dug deep to claim a 4-6, 7-6, 7-2, 6-4 victory over world number 3 Thiem at the O2 Arena. It was a keenly contested battle, and the US Open champion thought he was going to run over this one, but tennis is full of all elements. And also in the same competition, Rafael Nadal tried all he could to win his first ATP title. We are still waiting. Yeah, I think it's a big win for Daniel Medvedev. Congratulations to him, and it will help his career a lot. To help his career go long. I think Dominic Thiem also he won the first set and he lost the remaining 2 sets, which was bad for him. And we've seen a lot of big names in this competition. We saw the likes of Rafael Nadal, who came and we lost later on. We saw the likes of Roger Federer also, who tried to edge forward, but he later lost, I think, in the quarterfinal, if I'm not mistaken. And you see Dominic Thiem coming from winning the US Open. A lot of people might call it a flaunt, due to the fact of how Novak Djokovic was actually eliminated from the US Open. But I will tell you, you won the US Open. He met who was ahead of him. He met who was in front of him, and did what he could do. So I think it's a good win for Medvedev, and he'll take it on to next year
where we are. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Australian Open in the beginning of the year, which is a very good motivation for him taking forward to the Australian Open. And I'm sure the big boys are going to be waiting for the Australian Open. I'm looking forward to Roger Federer, definitely, because that is terrain. So I'm sure he's going to do well for the Australian Open.
Roger Federer indeed should have something to fight over. Don't forget that he needs to have one more over his biggest rival, Rafael Nadal, who they are tied right now on same number of Grand Slam won. And Australian Open will be a very good ground to have that battle. Yes, with that is a wrap on our show today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Do join us again next week. I'll be giving you all the spicy hot gist happening in the ever exciting world of sports. All right, Michael, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being on Sports Pizza to talk sports, and I would love to be back here to talk more sports. It's what we love to do, so why are we here?
Definitely, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah,
all right, that's the wrap on the show. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen, and feel free to drop a message for us. We'll be so glad to hear from you. My name is Brownson Wana. Enjoy the rest of your day.